my beautiful friends. It's your friend Kevin. This is your Divine Daily Blast. Here we go. We are in an angel numerology number 2 day. I call this diplomacy. It's about keeping the faith, and it's about watching, being careful of your negative thinking. There's been a lot of activity lately, and it has stirred up in most of us some real deep waves of emotions, such as a tidal wave, where you may have yourself okay at 9 o'clock, but at 9:15 something comes along and either makes you frustrated, angry, or really very sensitive. That's because we had the shifting of Saturn out of Pisces, Pisces being the sensitive channel of the sensitive sign. Now, the moon has moved into Taurus, and we're being asked to be careful about our stubbornness. Avoid anything that has got you stuck in the need to feel right, be right, and release all of that. Try to think a little differently. Come up with some surprising solutions and things that have been holding you back today. Here are my isms. I am the most blessed human on earth. I am open and receptive to all the good and abundance in the universe. If you have not been experiencing all the good and abundance because your mind and your heart and your energy has been clouded with these less than favorable thoughts and feelings, then it's time to pick that back up. If you've been finding yourself having flashes of anger about something you're seeing, hearing, feeling, believing, just that, because we've all been faced with think positive, look at the greater picture, crown yourself with success, all of this. However, it's believing in its manifestation that's a challenge. And challenge is where you do the work, you walk the walk, you talk the talk, but nothing happens. Not on the surface, but underneath it's happening. And underneath it can be stirring up this feels okay, I'm doing all right, we'll be fine. Or it's stirring up something like, yeah, right, if when I believe it, I'll see it, whatever. And that's what brings up this frustration. The frustration, the anger, the angst, the feeling of, is where the negativity starts to grow. And that's the ego. And the ego wants to keep us in that claptrap place. The other ism I've got is I am accepting and allowing all the changes in my life with a grateful heart. And so it is. By accepting and allowing all the changes, you could be surprised by what solutions come up out of it. Be adaptable rather than stubborn. Give yourself freedom of expression and free thinking. This will likely present more surprises than what you had anticipated. And I'm saying this because we are on the eve of the dark moon, and the dark moon is the eve of the new moon. And I got a little message from our friends Gertrude and Beatrice, who are preparing an altar. They've got their little tea lights in a circle, and they've pulled together some stones that they found. That's their version of crystals. And they're looking at little tiny fairy lights. They've made a clearing in their woodland hollow so that they can lay down on their lush grass and look up at the starry skies and call forth the beings from the other realms to make their new moon intentions. I'm going to talk more about the new moon in my navigations for the week ahead, because it doesn't really come up until the 26th, which is on Monday. Now, what else do we need to know about keeping the faith? Use the 8 of Swords or the 8 of Air, depending on what card deck you're using. Use the wise counselor and call upon the Archangel Jophiel and Raguel to help you. This is about feeling the expansion in your communication skills, because we are in the sun sign of Gemini, and the new moon, this particular new moon, will be in the sun sign of Gemini. So perhaps it's time to think about, maybe you misstepped the mark when you said something or thought something, and it's time to realign yourself with positive energy, upbeat energy. And that can probably mean find a creative distraction. Let's move on. Here's a message from Archangel Zadkiel. Now, Archangel Zadkiel is the keeper of the violet flame, works with Saint Germain, also works with, the holy amethyst. So here's the message. As the Archangel of Forgiveness, I can free you from unhealthy ties to the past. They keep you from living in joy. I forgive all prior conflicts in my life. I release the past in favor of peace and healing. I release the past in favor of peace and healing. We're all on that road for more peace and more healing globally, hands across the world, not just the country you live in. Looking for ways to make somebody else's life just a little brighter, including your own. Archangel Jophiel's with us this week. Her activation is, my thoughts are seeds that blossom. You're getting the kind of picture here. It is about changing your intentions and lifting it up brighter. And if that looks like finding some rainbow energy, finding some bright colors to wear, finding some bright beads to wear. Look, I'm going to show you what I've been working on, which some of you already know about, but I found this box of beads, right? I found all these beads. Well, this is what we're creating with all these beads. They're called bliss blankets, and I have been carefully weaving this very colorful yarn, and every third stitch I thread one of these beads on it. This is what keeps me bright and light and lifted and gifted. I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think I could accomplish it. They're rather heavy, but it brings me joy. It brings me fun. And I'm encouraging you to find these creative outlets in order to act an antidote. Our friend of the channel, Vicky, she has the Healing Artist channel. She is doing her Circle of Life paintings, and now she's wrapping up these paintings and sending them to Sweden so that people all over the world can see this creativity. This morning I was watching something in my YouTube dive real early, and this fellow who at one point had a chemical addiction turned his chemical addiction around when somebody came to the rehab center with a tie-dye kit. And he said the tie-dye kit changed his life. And now every week he knots and ties fabric in such a way that he creates a different design every week. And these items that he makes through tie-dye fund his life. But he said, I love it, the joy of it. So this is about plonking creativity into your soul, into your experience, into everything that you do. Creativity is the place that you can be with the divine. We have Vajra Yogini encouraging us all to transcend fear and become fearless. Embrace the power you've got, and we all have the power to be creative. I did not know I could make one of those bliss blankets. I didn't know. It was a pretty intense task. I mean, even a year ago, picking up a crochet hook and weaving a blanket was like, yeah, I don't know about that. And then I started watching different videos and watching different things, and I found my heart and my soul. One more, okay. Gertrude Beatrice said, shuffle one more time. Do you want me to take off the top? Yes. Okay. The spirit fox. Now, What I love about the spirit fox, you cannot, I mean, we say this thing, you can't make this up. You really cannot. The divine is with us, through us, working in all ways, in all things, in all directions of time and space, helping us to create what we need to create. However, what they need is for us to acknowledge it and bigger, invite it in, that entire energy that's part of who we are, plug into it. When we don't believe it, we knock off the power. So the spirit fox, trust your talents in these changing times. I mean, I can't think of a better well, I want to say icon, totem, than the spirit fox. And the spirit fox, it says, the spirit fox is pretty cunning, pretty imaginative, pretty clever. But the spirit fox is always thinking of new ways to go about their business, new ways to create whatever they need to be creating. That's what the spirit fox is all about. Trying to think of if there's anything else I can say about the spirit fox. Stay alert, stay aware, be present. Changes are occurring 24/7. And this is one of the favorite animal totems in the spirit realm. It's amazing to be adaptable and to survive in all kinds of different environments, from freezing temperatures to the heat of the sun. Foxes know exactly what it's like to be hunted, to be run out. Really, for centuries they've been, especially the red foxes, they've been hunted for their furs. If you look back at some of those old 1920s and 30s movies, some of those iconic women, well, men too, but women mostly, went around with silver fox fur jackets and fur jackets. Fur was one of these things that let people know that you had opulence and you had money if you had dead animals hanging off your shoulders. The energies around you right now are changing. And although it might not be comfortable, you're equipped with everything that you need to survive it. You're being presented with the opportunities to reach spaces you have never encountered before. The experience of being hunted or threatened or fearful or facing danger is now all behind you, particularly if you take the image of this fox and our friends Gertrude and Beatrice that have brought them to you and saying, when you go do your altar this month, get your candles, put your arms up in the air. I have a little bell that I ring, and then I clap my hands and bring in the spirits every day. Thank you with gratitude. It gets you creative. Work in the garden if you've got a yard. Go for a walk in a park and sit amongst the trees. And even if you want to, talk to the leaves on the trees. Anywhere and everywhere you can go, where you can find space, time to breathe and focus on all the good, will actually shut the noise of all the fear. All right, my friends, that's it for now. I'll be back tomorrow with more. Until then, thank you for supporting, liking, subscribing, and your comments. They're golden. And I love you. Take it easy. Bye for now.